So we're told to buy assets to build wealth, but no one tells us about the assets that actually destroy your wealth instead. So some of the things that people proudly call investments, it's usually liabilities that cost them money and keeps them from building wealth and becoming rich. So today I will show you 5 assets that actually seem like an investment, but they're actually a liability and they will keep you from becoming rich. So this isn't just a theory, this is actually examples from my own life, but also from friends and family, also people I've seen before that has gone into these traps. Welcome back to Kevin Talks Money, where you get practical advice that will help you build wealth over time. It's no hype, just how to get rich over the long time. So an asset should either make you money or improve your long-term life. And if it does neither of these, it is not an asset, it is just a liability in disguise. So let's go into the asset number 1, which is buying a brand new car. So why is this a waste? Well, it is because many of them loses their value, basically 10 to 30% straight away when it goes off the lawn when you buy it. And I actually saw an article the other day, 5 of the top electric vehicles in Sweden from 2020, they have lost up to 70% of their value, and they were between 50 and over 70% that they have been losing their value in just 5 years. And that is a lot. So it's a good deal now, but for those people that saw this as an investment, they have lost so much money on this. Another waste of this is because you have a high interest debt, usually in these. The price of these new cars are so high, so the interest will be really high as well, because most of us will not pay it in cash and we will not pay a lot of it in our down payment, so you're gonna have a very high interest, and that is just gonna make you throw out money every single month and keeping you from building wealth. Something else that is terrible with this is that the insurance cost is usually much higher nowadays, just because the cars cost so much money. So to cover it, you need to pay a lot of insurance, but also when it does break, usually it costs so much more money as well, especially if it's something that is an electric vehicle and the battery breaks and it's not on in the insurance, for example, or your warranty has run out, then you're in big trouble. So from my personal experience, my friends and family that I know that has bought brand new cars, and it's just leaking money all the time, and it's keeping them from building actual wealth. Go get a more reliable car or used one that has already lost a lot of its value, so it's more valuable for you to actually have a car, but don't see it as an investment. I recently actually sold my car completely because I wanted to see with a test for a couple of months how it's gonna be to just go with public transport and walking to all the places that I want. And most people cannot afford having a brand new car to pay for. Just realize it. You cannot afford these brand new pickup trucks. It is not feasible because most people don't earn enough to actually sustain it. So as I said, buy a reliable used model that's already lost a lot of its value. That way you're not spending too much and you have enough money to sustain the cost that comes with owning this car. So going into asset number 2, this is speculative crypto and meme coins. So yes, this is something that is growing crazy right now, and I feel that many people are going into this without having a clue what they're doing. And this is really dangerous. It's basically like you're gambling away all of your money and you would be ready to lose it all. So many of these, why it's a waste is because there's no underlying cash flow. It's so much based on hype and not the fundamentals. And some of them are a rug pull and you might lose all of your money that you spent years collecting just to get rid of it that fast, and you just get burnt. And I don't want that to happen to you. Many people, they don't do research and they don't know why they're investing it. And what people also do is that they buy late when they see the trend of this meme coin going crazy. Then it's usually already too late. The value goes down, you bought high, you sell low, and you lost your money once again. But hear me out. Of course, not all crypto is bad. I'm not a believer that all crypto is bad myself. I do have investments in crypto, but it's not my main portfolio. And I only use money that I have left over that I have as my fund money, which I use from my free template of the budget planner. I can see how much money I have there every month that I can spend on whatever I want. And then I can put something in there for something fun and just to see and have a long-term investment goal, not to get rich quick. So if you are going to invest in the crypto, please use small amounts that you already know that is from your fund money pot that you are able to use to whatever your heart's desires are. And also focus on boring, more proven assets that have been better over time. And also nowadays you have, for example, ETF crypto. You can go into those as well. It's much better and you have a diversified portfolio of crypto instead of speculating in meme coins and other speculative crypto. Then we have asset number 3, which is overpriced real estate for prestige. So that's is meaning that you're buying something that you really can't afford just because it looks prestige. It might have a pool, it might be a villa somewhere close to the beach, or it's just an extremely high price and you're buying this either to just look good, just to feel good, but in reality you have just set yourself up for failure. Because when things are going wrong, and usually they do go wrong with the house, there is expensive things to fix, there's taxes to pay, and everything else that comes around with owning this house. And if you're renting it out, you might even be on the other coin and you're thinking, I'm gonna buy this super expensive real estate because it will give me so much income because people will be ready to pay anything to be in my little house I have here with a pool and sea view. But in reality, it's not like that. I've been working myself close to real estate agents and they can tell me as well that many of the times they stand empty or they don't get the return that they want. The rents just increase and people cannot afford to live in them. So an asset that costs you money every single month is no longer an asset. So your house, as long as it has a mortgage, it will not be an asset, unfortunately. It will increase your net worth, but because it takes money out of your pocket with the mortgage and everything, it will not be an asset in that time. So what I would recommend is either just rent. You can build wealth by renting. It is just something that people say that you cannot build wealth when you're renting, but actually all the cost that you save yourself by renting because your landlord is paying for it instead of you saves you so much more money to become rich. What you can do is, for example, buy a cheaper place but that you can actually afford, and you can create positive cash flow with this property, and then it would convert into a proper asset. Or you can even do that you invest in real estate without actually owning them. So you can invest in a REIT or REIT, which is a real estate investment trust. This is basically a company that owns several real estates, and these here are paying out money. So you can invest in a little pie of this, and in that way you are investing in real estate without actually owning it yourself. And if you like calm, realistic money goals that will actually make you money over time and eventually build wealth and get rich, and not have any get quick rich schemes, then consider subscribing to this channel. So let's continue with asset number 4, which is collectibles as investments. And I hear what you're saying, oh, I collect watches and that is my asset and I'm making so much money. Yes, maybe you do, but that is maybe the 1% of you viewers out there that actually can handle this in the right way. But I want to talk about this as an asset that is a waste of money for most people because 3 different things. And this is not just watches. It's anything from sneakers to trading cards, NFTs. Yes, we have not left NFTs yet, they're still around. So why is this a waste? And it is that it's illiquid. And that basically means that it's hard to sell or taking a long time to sell, making it very illiquid, because if you might need the money now, you will not have it in a long time because these things takes time. That comes into the next part, that it's hard to value these items. Basically, you're gonna take a lot of time to find and research what is the value of my item now. What are people actually wanting to pay for it? And then when you actually do set up the price, then you need to wait around for someone to actually buy it. Well, if you had investments in stocks or ETFs and funds and all these, then it would be much easier to just click sell and the money is yours right now. That makes it very illiquid and it takes long, hard time to get your money. And also it's trends. So for example, the NFTs, many of these have lost their value and they say that they are valued to so much money, but no one is ready to actually buy it. And that comes back to the hard to value part. So I would say something that is important with this, obviously, of course, yes, buy this as a hobby, but don't use this as your financial plan for your retirement. It is not feasible, and the rich retirees are not using these for their retirement. So what you can do instead is that you can enjoy collectibles with the fun money that you have and buy these things, save up towards it. making sure that you can afford it without caring about it going up in value. If it does, amazing, but don't see it as your financial future or your way out of debt. Then we have the final asset, number 5, which is high fee investment products. These could be, for example, actively managed funds. These usually cost much more in fees than other automatic ones does. For example, a global index fund that just follows the index. These cost so much less, so why is this a waste? Because these fees quickly kill your gains. So for example, a 1% managed investment fund, then you would lose thousands of dollars eventually from your gains that you could have gained instead, and that could have compounded, but instead you're giving it away. But if you would have had an index fund with a low fee, then you would have saved yourself so much more money, and it would actually have compounded towards building your wealth. And many of these actually underperform a normal index fund anyway. And usually complexity hides a lot of costs. So if it does say that it might have a lower cost in one of these managed funds, if you look into the fine prints, you will see that there's loads of different types of fees hidden around there, and it might cost you thousands of dollars. So what you can do is make sure that you check what are the actual fees when you buy a product like these investments. Realizing what these fees are matters so much more than their returns, because they might have a good return, but you're paying all of those returns in fees instead. Then you haven't gained anything. So focus on a low cost index fund and simple, transparent investing. Assets are not about looking rich, it's about staying rich. That is the most important part of the whole thing. And also remember, as I said before, if it doesn't produce income, it doesn't grow long term, and it doesn't improve your life meaningfully, then please question it, because it might cost you so much money in the long run. So which of these assets actually surprised you the most? Or what assets do you actually regret buying? That I want to know down below in the comments as well. And if you want the opposite of this, then I actually have a video that will actually tell you what to do with your money instead to build wealth and get rich. It's not flashy, but it works every single time, and it is these small best practices that will actually build wealth. So before you go, please subscribe to the channel as well, and I will see you there in the next video. Thank you very much. Goodbye.